Good day, students. It's teacher Ingrid here, and we're back at the Learning Nest. So today, we will continue with our discussion about the laws of exponents. In the past video, we already talked about the product, the quotient, and the power law. So today, we will continue about the discussion on the zero exponent and the negative exponent. So we are still about the laws of exponents, part 2, and the objective is to decide which rule or law or laws to use to simplify an expression. So let's go straight away to the zero exponent. So the zero exponent says that an expression x raised to the power of 0 is just equal to 1. So it means to say that any expression raised to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. So let's have one example here. The first example, parenthesis AB raised to the power of 0, of course, because both of them is raised to the power of 0, it's just equal to 1. Okay? For example, class, I have here A and then B raised to the power of 0. What's the difference between the two? So it means to say that B to the power of 0 is just the equivalent of 1. So A is not raised. So meaning our answer is different. It will be A times 1. Right? Because B to the power of 0 is 1, so only B to the power of 0 is 1, not the A. So the answer of A times 1, of course, any variable, any number multiplied by 1 is the number or the variable itself. So I hope you can see the difference here. Here, 6 to the power of 0, of course, it's only a single number, so it's equal to 1. Okay, here 7a cubed b negative 1 parenthesis raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, any expression raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Just be careful that sometimes not everything is raised to the power of 0, so just be careful about that kind of case. So I'll give you one more example here. If I have 2x squared y cubed over 3x to the power of 5 y to the power of negative 1, and all of them is raised to the power of 0, of course it's equal to 1, right? However, if I have here 2x squared y cubed raised to the power of 0 all over 3x to the power of 5 y, okay, for example, I'll just have it y there. So only this part is raised to the power of 0, which is equal to 1. So that will be 1 over whatever you see here. You just simply copy it. 3x 5y. Okay, so look at the difference. Only the numerator is raised to the power of 0, so that is 1, equivalent to 1. But the denominator is just the same. Nothing will change. So you will just copy the denominator. Right. Now let's go to the next law, the negative exponent. Okay. So the negative exponent states that an expression x to the power of negative number, negative m, is equal to 1 over x to the power of m. So take note, when we get the reciprocal, so we're talking here about reciprocal. So I hope you still remember what reciprocal is. So when you say reciprocal, if you have 2/3, the reciprocal of 2/3, we just swap the numerator and denominator, so we have 3/2. Okay, if we have like, say, x, so the reciprocal of x is just 1 over x. Why 1 over x? Remember that any variable or any number which has no denominator, it's understood to have 1. So x over 1, the reciprocal is 1 over x, right? So here, let's answer now. X to the power of negative 3, imagine there's 1 here, so it will be 1 over x to the power of 3. Take note, there's no more negative exponent. So it means to say that it is in its simplest form. So that is the answer. Another one. So 4 to the power of negative 2, to get rid of the negative exponent, we'll just simply get the reciprocal of 4. So this is 1 over 4 to the power of 2. No more negative. But we can simplify this because this is a number. So 1 over, so 4 squared means 4 times 4. Remember in our previous video. So 4 times 4 is equal to 16. So the answer is 1 over 16. Negative 4x raised to the 5th power, y raised to negative 2. Take note, y to the power of negative 2 is raised. Is the only problem here. So others like negative 4x5, there's no problem. We can just simply copy them, negative 4x5. But the negative exponent here, we need to simplify it by getting its reciprocal. Imagine there is a 1 over here, right? So it means to say that we get the reciprocal, so we need to multiply it by 1 over y squared. And to simplify it, negative 4x5 times 1 is just negative 4x raised to the power of 5 over y squared. So this is our answer. I hope you are following and you have no questions. So let's practice now. Okay, so let's practice. So I will give you a few seconds to do it and I'll get back to you. Okay, try to check if your answers are correct. So here we have the product law. So we will only multiply 2 and 2. 2 times 2, which is 4. And then the base is x. Common base is x, so copy the base. And if it's product law, we will add the exponent. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So the answer is 4x raised to the 6th power. Okay, number 2. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. That's simple. So again, by the way, this time, there's a fraction bar here. Means to say that this is division. So when we divide, we do not add the exponents. Instead, we subtract the exponents. So there are two bases here, x and y, which is common to both expressions. So we copy x and then subtract the exponents for x. 3 minus 1 here. So this is squared. Another base y, and y here has 6 and 6. So this is 6 minus 6 is 0. So in this case, we're not done yet simplifying our expression since we are not allowed to have a 0 exponent. So we need to simplify the variable with a 0 exponent. So take note that y to the power of 0 is equal to 1, remember? We just talked about it. So it means to say that this is not yet the final answer. We need to simplify this further. So this will be x squared times 1. So x squared times 1, of course, is just x squared. I hope you got it right. Okay, so number 3 is also a division. If you notice, there's a fractional bar. So we can rewrite it like this, even. 6x raised to the power of 7 over 2x to the power of 7. Okay, So division 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. And then x raised to the power of 7 divided by x raised to the power of 7 is just equal to 1. So the same, any number or any variable divided by itself is 1, right? So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 3 divided by 3 is 1, x7 divided by x7 is also 1. So this is 3 times 1, which simplifies to 3. I hope you got it. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide, numbers 4 to 6. Okay, few seconds and I'll get back to you. Okay, let's check your answer now. So if you notice here, this is a power to a power. So we will apply the power law. So in applying the power law, we will just simply multiply the exponents. Copy the base, multiply the exponent 3 times 4, so y to the power of 12. You got it? Okay, my pen is, okay, my pen is just having a trouble. Okay, let me just fix it. Let me fix my pen. Okay. Okay, so y raised to the power of 12. Okay, next, this is also a power, but there are 2 variables inside, so we need to distribute the power to each variable. So we will do it one by one. So we have here first x squared to the power of 4, to the power of 4, and another base y, which has a power of 1 here, imaginary, to the power of 4. And then let's simplify. So x, 2 times 4, so this is x to the power of 8, and y to the power of 4. Okay, so this is the answer now. And of course, for number 6, it's the easiest one. It's equal to 1 because 8 is raised to the power of 0, so that is equal to 1. Okay, I hope you got it correct. So let's move to the next numbers, 7, 8, and 9. Few seconds. Okay, let's answer this right away. This is so simple. But we need to be very careful because there's a negative sign outside 9x raised to the power of 0. So we know that 9x raised to the power of 0 is just equal to 1. Okay? But there is a negative outside, so this is equal to negative 1. Okay? That's it. So m raised to the power of 6, this is a negative exponent, so we get the reciprocal. So that will be, imagine there's 1 here, so that will be 1 over m raised to the power of 6. And then number 9, this is x raised to the power of 9, x raised to the power of negative 7. So x raised to the power of 9 has no problem, so we'll just simply copy it. But our x raised to the power of 7, we need to get the reciprocal, so it will be in the denominator. So x raised to the power of 7. Okay? But we're not done yet because we noticed. So we're done with the negative exponent. We have simplified it, but we're not done yet with the quotient law. So the quotient law, if they have the same base, x, we need to subtract the exponent 9 minus 7. So the answer is x raised to the power of 2, or x squared.